Good Saturday evening, folks. How you doing? I'm Manny Vitale, host of My Fight Our War and co-host of My Brother's Keeper, a bikers podcast, with the one and only Thomas Vestergaard, my brother,
Mhm.
who had quite the day today. Got to send out a huge shout out to Thomas and Sophia, who tied the knot. Yep, he did
Got
it, man.
married
He did
today.
it. The countdown we had going for a while, and today was the day. And I actually did talk to him, which I did not expect. Let's get OG on here before she starts.
Well, I'm already saying hi to Amber. Amber's already on.
Amber, how
Hi,
you doing, Amber?
Amber. Oh yeah, she's
There
had a
you.
rough week. A parent's house was
Uh
broken
oh.
into. Jesus, but
So we
Amber's
had.
okay.
We got to. Everyone's got to give a huge congratulations. Send some love to Thomas and Sophia
Mm-hmm.
Vestergaard.
Yep.
Who got married. My brother in
Yeah.
Denmark, Thomas Vestergaard, aka the Sensitive Biker, also the co-host of My Brother's Keeper, a bikers podcast that we do every Monday at 4:30 ish. Um, him and Sophia got married today, along with all of his family, the biker family, Cosa, Knights of St. Anthony. And I did chat with them, which, like I said, did not expect. I sent them a couple messages earlier this morning. They're 6 hours ahead of us,
Mm-hmm.
so I did hit them up and just let them know I was thinking about them. And then after work, I gave him a shout out, and it was probably about 11 o'clock his time. And I just said, just thinking about you guys, and call me when you can. Well,
And then the phone rang.
little I expect was my phone to ring in about 5 minutes, and there's Thomas. I'm like, "What are you doing?" He goes, "You said to call." I said, "I didn't
When you get a chance.
expect you to call me at your wedding." And he's laughing. He goes, "No, man." He goes, "I got some time." So I got a chance to talk to my brother Thomas, and he said that it was just an absolute beautiful ceremony. Weather was great. They had a professional videographer come in and get pictures, a video. Then they did a ride where they had all the bikes and they did a nice ride, got that. So we're going to be sharing that with you. But yeah, so
Looked like they had perfect weather. It
oh,
was just everything was great.
Thomas, I went live a few times with him, obviously, with our show, but then a couple times just catching up. And it was so funny because each time he had that look where he was just like, and as the countdown went on, like I would just say, Thomas, 12 days, and he would go, yeah. And I was like, don't say it like that, man. He goes, and he meant it. It's just there's been so much because he just wanted everything perfect
Mm-hmm.
for Sophia, and so he put a lot into it.
Mm-hmm.
His
Building like a
property,
trellis, and there's flowers and just.
yeah, he got married on he's got property,
Mm-hmm.
beautiful property, and it's also excuse me, the where the clubhouse is, and just a gorgeous backdrop for the wedding. Had a chapel, the bell tower,
Yeah, he built it
just
all.
he did it, him and his Costa family, along with some family and friends. So again, this is just a special day for two very special people.
Mm-hmm.
So Sophia, um, the only thing I can say is, the hell are you thinking? I mean, he's a biker, man. I mean, what are you
And a
thinking?
former Nazi and
Yeah, just like I remember people, when doing some
former.
shows,
That's the
and
important.
people would ask about the significant others, and they're like, you know, pretty much asking me, "Did you actually have like a significant other?" I was like, "Well, yeah, and they're like, why would they want to be with you? Someone like you guys?" We're like, I don't know, people as crazy as us. But I'm just messing with you, Sophia. You are one amazing person. Thomas, when we do the show, and he would talk about your name would come up and
Mhm.
he would just shine.
Mhm.
So huge shout out to Thomas and Sophia Vestergaard and to all the Costa family nation and Denmark and around the world.
Well, it's only 1:00 in the morning there. He might just pop up.
You know what? I'm going to send him a message
Oh my
right
goodness.
now and let him know.
I would think that he's actually
that,
exhausted, but that's not.
you know what,
Who knows?
Thomas, you know what? I'm not going to do that.
No, don't.
I'm not going to do that because that would be
Because
wrong.
he'll wake up at 4.
That would be
to go to the
wrong for me
ba-
to do that
Oh,
right now,
oh.
wouldn't it? Wouldn't that be wrong for me to
Oh,
do
look
that?
at he's gonna do it anyway.
No, I'm not going to do it.
Sure you are.
No, I don't know what the shit turning nice. This nice feeling shit. I don't
You
like
gotta
it.
tell them what people said about
Oh
you.
yeah. Well, this all started what I'm about to talk about, and first of all, Amber and did I see
Vincent's
Jacqueline?
on.
Is Jacqueline there as
Man, he
well?
has principles. He does now.
Yeah. What?
Hallelujah.
Amber. Shh. No one knows that. But I thought I saw
Trying to keep it a secret.
the Shenanigators. So
Only the one so far.
well, Amber, I'm glad you're here. Vincent, thank you for being here. And that's all I see. So whoever else,
but
is
it's
anyone
still
else.
early.
But anyways, what we were talking about is there's a Netflix documentary called I think The Quarterbacks or something like that, and one of them is talking about Jared Goff, our quarterback for the Detroit Lions, and it's just showing some back history, behind the scenes and all that stuff. And one of the social media, the radio personalities in Detroit was talking about Goff and how, I mean, they're mic'd up obviously during games and stuff, and they were talking about Goff, and they said the one thing that they were surprised of is he goes, he says the F word a lot. And which was kind of funny because that happened to a situation I was in. I just got done with one of my surgeries. I can't remember which.
Who knows?
And the doctor came out to talk to OG and just give an update, and came out and they're talking. And the doc, he said, we just love Manny. He's so nice.
Get the right word.
He's nice. He's happy
so
and
polite.
he's so polite and going on. And OG's sitting there like this going, well, he says fuck a lot.
Yeah, I said, well, he is polite, but that's not the first adjective I would use.
That's not the first thing I would. And so that came out. And then this with Jared Goff about him. So we got to see it. And sure enough, man, he's throwing F-bombs nonstop. So I'm sitting there talking with some people about, perception. And they're like, yeah, when
because they seem like such a Boy Scout.
Yeah, they're showing Jared Goff. He
cool,
looks
calm.
like this nice, wholesome, and all this stuff. Really nice guy. And it's like, well, you can still be nice and just, swear. So we were talking to some friends and people at work and stuff like that. Some guys I rode with, and I said something about that and about what OG said about, he says fuck a lot. And I said something about, but you see me, something about being, such a, that's what it was. I said being a nice guy and all the things that the doctor said about me. And the one guy, he's like, no, man, when I met you, I mean, when I saw you, I didn't think you were nice. Like, what? He goes, no, you just, just the way you look. He goes, you don't look nice. I'm like, screw you, man. Fuck. So it was just so damn funny. You had to be there. I know it's not funny right now. Just bear with me. But just put yourself in that situation. It was funny at the moment. And hey, we're family. And like I said, we share everything here, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So Amber, just hang in there with me. And who else we got here?
Sherlyn from the Philippines.
Sherlyn, welcome.
It's been a long time.
So just have some fun. Like I said, it's been a kind of strange last couple of months.
Amber says you're scary. I think if he's not smiling, and he doesn't walk around with a grin on his face all day long. And I think he probably is intimidating. He's got these huge shoulders and huge pecs, his big back.
What's funny though is I did have we were talking about perception, and when you see certain people, and we were talking about bikers, you know, when you see bikers, they're always in black and scruffy and tatted up and on these Harleys and you know, it's just like a rough crowd. And you get that perception of just being, you know, scary guys and stuff like that. And believe me, I've ridden with some of the worst of the
Scary
worst.
guys.
And a lot of that is true. I did get in my share a hell of a lot of confrontations. Like I said, you know, being shot, stabbed, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it happens. But
those were the friendly ones.
But yeah, but the thing is, there's a lot of people who have gotten into so much more trouble and fights and confrontations than I have. Some of them look for it, and me, I did not go out looking for it, but I never backed away from it. But the thing that I was told by a couple guys that, and actually this was another true story that happened. I was at this bar in Detroit, well, in metropolitan area. It's no longer there because people got shot there, and the last one died there. Dooley's over on Gratiot. And I was in quite a few little involved confrontations there. And I remember one time I went in, and I went to a lot of these bars by myself. A lot of times when you're in a club, you go with your club brothers because sometimes there's a situation where, you know, if you're alone, you're a target. And but I was in the mindset back then is I didn't give a shit. You know, I'm not going to sit there and depend on anyone but me. And that wasn't trying to be a badass. That was just my mindset back then. And I remember going into this bar, Dooley's at the time, and I would always sit by myself. I'd go to the end of the bar. I wouldn't go and sit in the middle of a bunch of people. And I remember just sitting there and just drinking my beer. And all of a sudden I did one of these. I looked down at the end of the bar, and there was like the regulars. You know, there's like 4 guys sitting at the corner, all just shooting the shit. And all of a sudden I looked down there, and all 4 of them were like, you know, looked away real quick when I looked back down there. And they're like, hey, look at that spider.
The ceiling.
So I just went on for a few days. You know, I went in there maybe a couple days later. Like I said, the regulars in there, sat by myself, looked down there, the same thing, look away. And I remember one day I'm sitting there, and one of the guys got up, and I looked over at him, and he kind of on the way by me, he was going to the bathroom. He was like, hey, I was like, hey, that's guy talk for how you doing? So he comes back, and all of a sudden I look over at him, and he goes, hi, my name's EJ. And EJ, you've seen him on here before as part of this, the comments and stuff like that. But he introduced himself. He goes, hi, I'm EJ. I go, how you doing? And my club name was Gunner. I go, how you doing? I'm Gunner. And he goes, yeah, you know, I see you, you know, with the Highwaymen. And he goes, you know, me and my buddies, we see you in here, you know, last couple times. And it was just like this odd small talk. It's like, yeah, I see you too. Okay. And all of a sudden it was instant bro love. He's like, can I buy you a beer? Hell yes, you can buy me a beer. And he goes, oh, okay. And I go, hey man, you want to sit down? He goes, really? Yeah. And I was like, yeah, man. So he looks down at the other guys, and they're kind of looking to see if I killed him. And, you know, and all of a sudden he goes, is it okay if they, you know, come down? I'm like, sure, man. It's like, you know, so they come down, introduce them, and we start talking.
New best friends.
Now, you know, to this day, you know, we became friends. I ended up bringing them later, months and months later, to the clubhouse, actually, to meet some of the guys. But I remember talking with these guys, and it was so funny hearing them talk about me to me, because they're like, yeah, man, when we saw you come in, a lot of guys, they don't wear their cuts in here, their vests. And I'm like, well, I won't take mine off, you know, and that's just me. And they said, you know, we just weren't sure about you. And he's, you know, he just said, you just had a look about you. And, you know, a lot of times if people go looking for trouble, you know, they got that look where they're just trying to start shit. I never did that, but I gave that look where I'm not going to back down from shit either. And I had a few guys tell me before in different situations they were in where it's like, listen, we're going to start some shit with some people, and you walk in, it's like, listen, I don't want to, let's not mess with that guy because he looks like he could handle himself. Or, you look for a target, you look for someone, that you could punk and stuff like that. So I always said that if by having that little bit of, swagger, that little bit of, anger, look, not in the way I like, because when they came over talking, they kept saying that to me. They're like, "You're actually nice," and I was like, "Yeah,
Oh,
yeah." I
Want me
go,
to
"Well,
growl at you?"
well, no." They're like, "Well, we didn't know that." I go, "Well, you didn't talk to me," and it was just that perception. But it was just one of those things, and that comes back to like my dad when we were talking about fights and stuff, and when I was in. And he's like, "Don't worry about the guys that's chirping. I'm gonna kick the guy that's all mouth. Worry about the guy that's just kind of glaring at people. The one who's," he goes, "worry about that guy." He goes, "That's the one you probably shouldn't mess with." I'll never forget that. And I think I was in like 6th grade when he's telling me this about these antics. And you know what? If that helped keep me out of a situation, it was well worth it. And but it was just funny, hearing these other guys. Because then it was like, hey, when you first met Manny, did you think he was, a nice guy? They're like, "Oh yeah." Well, no, not after you met him. Like when you first saw him, what did you think? And a couple of them were like, "Oh, we thought he was an asshole." It was like, and I was like, "What the fuck?" So it was all fun. So you know what, folks? That's about 6 minutes of your life you'll never get back.
Oh, that's a good story.
So there it is. Sheila, how are you, Sheila? And there's Lori from Athens, Alabama.
Sheila's celebrating sober date.
I missed it. Okay. Sheila is sober tomorrow. 1 year, 6 months.
Well, all right.
Sheila, congratulations. That is awesome.
Nice.
So proud of you. So happy for you. And as you know, man, all of us here, family time, man. So from the My Fight Our War family, from my brother's Keeper Bikers podcast family, and just from all of us, Sheila, congratulations. That's awesome. Jeremy, I see Jeremy's here.
Lori's here.
Lori, like I said, Lori. Here. Who's here?
Jeanette Butler.
Jeanette, how you doing, Jeanette? But yeah, it's just been, kind of different the last, month or two. It's just been very busy because by the time when just working up, you're working full time. It's just so much going on. And I've said this story before too about when I first started doing shows as a guest, not as a host, but as a guest. I mean, that's easy. You show up to the studio, you do your show, as the guest, and then you're done. But I remember Ian and Matt and those guys talking, and and they were saying just how how busy. And I remember telling Ian, I'm like, you guys just sit around and talk. I mean, woo, you're busy. Well, after getting involved into it now like this, now I can get it. So there's a lot going on, and that's still no excuse, man. It's not like I'm sitting here swinging a sledgehammer. I'm sitting here bullshitting with you guys.
Well, you were working hard at work today.
Yeah, we had an event today at Wolverine, and it's it's just a rough time right now. So we try to get all these events to try to get people out there, and come on out for all the people. And this is for everyone in the Michigan, Detroit metropolitan area. Come on down, check us out, man. Wolverine Harley Davidson at 44660 North Gratiot Avenue in Clinton Township. For those of you who know that area, we are just south of M59, which is Hull Road. We are closed Sunday. We're closed on Monday, but Tuesday through Saturday. And man, I tell you, if you are a rider, if you've been riding bikes or if you've never ridden and you're thinking about it, come check it out, man. I know a lot of people sometimes I'll talk to about Harleys, about riding, and they're like, well, I could never afford it, man. Nowadays you can afford anything. I mean, but the cool thing with our guys, our finance guys, as well as our sales, is they're not going to sit there and tie a noose around your neck just to try to get the best sale, man. And sometimes that's bad for business, but good for character because, they're trying to get you in the best bike for you to enjoy the whole, and it sounds corny as shit, the riding experience. Cause I remember when I first started riding, I was a late bloomer, man. I didn't start riding. I've only been riding now for 20 years, if that, 18, 20 years. Some of my buddies been riding since they were 18, and they were talking about it like this, the experience. I go, you guys sound like a cult. Oh, you got to experience the wind. This, I was like, yeah, whatever. Until the first time I rode, and that was like, I rode my buddy's Fat Boy, and that was it, man. And now that's all it's just, for those who know, and that's all I can say. But yeah, man. So we have a lot of fun. I like to get a chance when people come in to chit chat with them because I'm stuck back in the bay doing the details and moving the bikes around. We get to.
But if you ask for them, they'll actually.
Oh yeah,
have you come around for a few minutes.
The cool thing with us too is it's you go to some of these places, especially with the motorcycles, you hear Harley, just like with cars, man. You're hearing like Corvette, Ferrari, you're hearing the upper end of, you're thinking of the product and not a person. Well, over, with all of us, man, all of the guys in sales and service and parts and accessories and all of that, they're down to earth people, man, that just love bikes and
they do financing right there.
Yeah.
So they'll work with you. Yeah. Jeremy, read Jeremy's comment.
Jeremy, let's see. I'm itching to buy a new one. Love my own 09, but really think I should buy a 25 CVO. Yep. Let's see. They got that's another cool thing. Now that I started, since I've been working with Harley, I'm an old Harley guy, man. It's like, you got a Harley? Yeah. Well, what color? What color? Black. What do you like? What color? Do they come in other colors?
Actually, they do.
And the thing is, I have actually gone mid-sentence. It's like looking at this new color, and that's another thing. Don, our amazing semi Harley driver with these huge semis, 30, 40, bikes, brand new Harleys coming in, taking off the covers, all these, the newest of new colors and all that. I've looked at some of these bikes and I'm like, that is the ugliest, coolest color I've seen. I mean, literally mid-sentence, and it's just insane. You got the gloss, you got the flat, the denim, the contrast in the paint. Before, years ago, it was all chrome. Now it's getting blacked out. But it's just, at Jeremy, the CVOs are badass bikes. I got a picture. I don't know if you guys saw. There was one of, I can't remember how many were made. The one special edition. It was 110 grand. And I'm not saying that was for everybody, but there's a picture of me by it with this stupid look, more stupid than usual. And I'm like, yeah, that's the look you make when you are standing next to a $110,000 bike.
Amber says she drives a mean golf cart.
There you go. Hey, Amber.
There's a vehicle for everybody.
That is so true. But the bottom line is, man, is when it, just come on out, say hi. If you're in the area, man, I'd love to see you. The people there at all the departments are just awesome. You're not going to get hounded when you walk in.
Jeremy, are you in Michigan?
Yep, he's in here. He's I can't remember where. I think he's up north. But yeah, 110 grand. Check out my personal page, Amber. It's a ways down, but you'll see me leaning on this bike with my buddy Corey. Took the picture. But like I said, the cool thing is I've had people before when they hear you work at Harley, they immediately just think of Harley the brand. And once they come in and start talking to all, and the thing is, with all the different departments, everyone that's there fits the department they're in to the T. You've got the people working in apparel, you got the sales, you got finance, you got parts, you got service, detail, all of us. And you know what, you want to get a good conversation going, come on in. And
Mhm.
if we have time to chit chat, we'll love to. And that's the key. I mean, sometimes, each day fluctuates a little bit with how busy we are. And, but yeah, man, if there's time, and you want to talk to, obviously, sales, that's their job, man. They're going to
Mhm.
get you talking about what you need and all that. But sometimes you want to come in and you might have questions for the tech, for the mechanic, man, who want, specific things. And you know what? You just like my dad always used to say, if you don't ask, the answer is always no. Come on in, man. Say, listen, man, could I chit chat if someone's available?
Yeah.
And if someone is, be more than happy to.
And Jeremy's in Emily City.
Oh yeah, man.
That's not that far.
Shit. You come on down on a Saturday or
Yeah, when they have an event.
yeah, or whenever, man.
Mhm.
A Tuesday through Saturday, I'm there. Or whenever. I mean, but it'd be great to be able to meet you in person.
Yeah, go in and ask for Manny. There's only one Manny.
Thank God. But you know, I'm in service. Amber says, "What do you do there?" I work in the service department. Um, we help with pretty much everything, but the main thing is doing the detailing. We get the bikes that come in. Some of them, like I said, are brand new, like a tenth of a mile, being rolled onto the trucks and stuff. You get other ones that are, pre-owned,
Ridden hard.
and we take care of them. We'll strip them down. We'll get these bikes, and I'll get them on a hoist, just like a car. We get them up and strip it down. Bags, seat, side panels, everything comes off, man. And we're down to the frame, working on everything. And by the time we're done doing with what we do, these bikes are actually ready for a photo shoot. That's
They look
how
brand new.
detailed. I've actually had to work on bikes before, and it's taken me for one bike. Now we're talking, it was some of these bikes come in are immaculate, and Harley riders they're a different breed. You can come in and have someone that has a Harley that's 10 years old with like 4,000 miles, maybe, and it's barely ever been out of the garage. And hey, you know what? It is what it is. Then you'll have other people who have a 15, 20-year-old Harley with, I mean, it's just back and forth what you're going to get. The way I look at it, it's a Harley, it's a bike. Bikes are made to be ridden. And, you'll get some of these bikes come in and they're just loaded with dirt and bugs and stuff like that. So, depending on the shape of the bike, when we get them, if it's going in for a photo shoot upstairs, there's been times I've gone 3 days, all day for 3 days.
Wow.
Stripped down a bike to get it ready. And so yeah, it's a lot of fun.
What's the address again?
44660 North Gratiot Avenue in Clinton Township, and we are just south of M59, which is Hall Road. And it's just it's a great atmosphere, for people. And this is crazy. I've only been there now going on over 2.5 years or so, whatever it is. And but I've actually been a member since the day they opened 23 years ago. I was actually the original hog member there when they first opened the door. Me and a bunch of my guys went in there. So I've known a lot of these people, like with George Delanu as the owner.
Was he the owner way back then?
Him and he and Chuck Riley, as far as the owner, I can't remember what the split was way back then, but me and my guys, we would go in there. It'd be like a bar. We'd go in there and just hang out and talk to the salespeople that we got to be friends with. We'd go in there and talk to the guys in service. And just you're with a bunch of bikers.
What were you riding back then?
94 Fat Boy, and but we would go there and you meet these people, and you just like all of us here, and you get this bond, and it's just a great feeling. So obviously, for those in Michigan, the Macomb County area, come on in, man. Check us out. and say hi. I'd love to see you guys. Saturdays, we try to have an event on Saturdays. Last one a week ago today, we had special with our trikes, with the Tri-Glides, and so we had tacos and trikes. And today we had summer something event, but we'll have raffles, giveaways and stuff like that, and you can have time to come in and just chit chat.
And pizza or tacos or whatever they got.
I mean, every time you got me with food, it's just like, I'll be there.
Yeah.
But
and they had pop and water and.
You better not ride without a helmet. Well, Amber, you're correct. I ride without a helmet. And that's one thing, even when I first started riding, everyone that rides, they know the little novelty helmets, the little half shell helmets, the little that we all wore. And, you would say for novelty use only, not DOT approved. And, that's just a choice that I make. I will never tell someone to
I put on a helmet
to wear or not wear a helmet. I mean, that's an individual choice, but I'm not going to sit there and tell people to do, we all have choices and we all have the circumstances to deal with when something happens. Skylar's here. It says, Skylar Davis says to say hi.
Oh, okay. Well, I have to find him.
But
when I put on the helmets, they really make a difference because I have one. There's some that have the
helmet. I'm going to jump through the phone right now.
Oh, well. And then there's others that are almost like putting a scuba, like a underwater. It was like it was all suffocating. It was like, oh my, I hated that.
Well, the thing is, though, that's another great thing with all of our salespeople.
They work with you.
There's helmets for everybody. Mm-hmm. There's no excuse not to wear a helmet, because if people say, like she just said, oh, well, they're too confining. I don't want the full face. I don't want this. Well, you don't have to. Mm-hmm. You don't have to have a full shield. You can have a half shield. You don't have to have a shield at all. You can wear sunglasses. So, for people that can see, don't ever let someone try to bullshit and say, oh, they don't have a helmet that I want because of, no,
they fit you. They take their time. They're good.
So there's, no, he told me to tell you hi the other night. Okay. Because I know he's got something going on. He sent me a message.
He's at all kinds of different places.
What did he say? He's got an event. Going to rock this hometown show is what the event said, or I'm sorry, what the text said earlier. That was at 4:30, and I just said, "Let's go, let's get it, brother." And he's today at 7:25. He just sent some pictures, hoping to fill this place up. Tour stop 98. Let's go. Not sure where it's at. I'm just going. This is a text. I'm not on the page right now, so I'm just going by this. But it's tour stop number 98 for Skyla and Kayla, minus pound cake. But he's tearing it up. Him and Kayla are tearing it up. So congratulations to my brother and all that stuff going on with the We Do Recover tour. We've got a lot going on there as well. We have August.
No, Phyllis is on. Hi, Phyllis.
Phyllis, how you doing, Phyllis? What else? What was I saying?
That he was
August.
Nonstop. Yeah.
We are going to be heading to our second home, which we fly into my favorite little airport, White Plain, New York, to go see my favorite TSA security team.
That's right.
And get the royal treatment. And from there, we go to Ridgefield, Connecticut. And it's going to be awesome. Really looking forward to it. This is going to be a big event. We're flying in the 27th. And we're actually, usually I like to get there, by the time we get there, it's 1, 2, somewhere around there, to take the day, and the rest of the night to kind of just chill and get ready for the next 3 days of shows and taping. But we're going to be pretty busy.
Mhm.
So we're flying in the 27th, which is I think Wednesday, and we're actually doing shows Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Saturday is the Brian Cody Brothers and Sisters event with Coach Morrissey, Mimi, my nephew, Bo, and Maddie and Rach and
Jalen and
Jaden and Mason and Jaden and my Connecticut nephews, and that is going to be August the 30th, right?
Mm-hmm.
August the 30th is going to be one amazing day. Like I said, we're going to be there the 27th, and we're going to be doing shows pretty much nonstop up until the Brian Cody Brothers and Sisters event. I know that Skylar talked to Matt, who is our producer, and he's going to be doing a show with Heidi. Heidi's on. Amber said, Heidi Sullivan. I didn't see her, but miss you, Heidi.
She might pop on anyway.
But anyways, Skylar is going to be doing Ian Bick's show, from what last I heard, unless something's changed that I don't know about, but last I heard is he's going to be doing Locked In with Ian Bick, and he's going to be doing a show with us. We're working out the time and stuff like that on let's see, I'm not sure what day. No, I'm tagging them. Oh, look at Amber go. Thank you, Amber. I definitely appreciate
Tag, you're it.
That's it. Tag. But yeah, but the big part that I'm looking forward to is actually all of it as far as the shows, because each person that comes on, their stories are absolutely incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And but the whole point that we were going to be out there just happened to fit into the perfect time when we were talking with Coach Anthony Morrissey, with Coach Tony. And we found out that the event was on the 30th. And just in that conversation,
perfect timing.
I told him, I said, Coach, we're going to be here. And he's like, you're going to be a speaker. And it's like,
okay.
That was a time where I was given permission. I'll do it.
Yeah.
So that's going to be one amazing event that we're looking forward to. There's Mary Jane.
Oh, there you go.
Mary Jane, how you doing?
Yeah.
I've been doing it every show. You didn't understand that?
Well, we know. I saw that you would put names on. I went, okay. I wasn't quite sure, but thank you.
Definitely appreciate anything, all that support, Amber. You know that.
She's very thoughtful that way.
Oh, man. But so that's what's going to go on in August.
And this is the 5th annual now. The fifth
year
year they've been doing this.
Talking with Coach and with Bo, it's just amazing how, something like that, it just, you say 5 years, and it just seems like yesterday. Mm-hmm. You get such a tragic event, it goes hand in hand. You get something that happens to you that is just something that just has that special place in your heart. It's either something amazing, that happened to you that you are so blessed and happy about, that something you'll never forget. Unfortunately, when you have a tragedy that happens, it's stuck in your brain and that place in our heart and our soul just as well. But when I was talking to Coach last about this, the event, I mean, of course, it's very somber because that's when they lost Brian. But for all these events, because I actually had someone one time say something to me about doing this. He said, it's got to get depressing. And I go, it's not depressing. I said, there's a lot of emotions, but I'm not going to say it's depressing. You could be very angry, very happy, when you see all the different people and the progress and recovery. But, these events are there for a purpose. And first and foremost, like for me, when I bring up my family, Jerry, my brother Jerry, for those of you who followed me and know my story, my brother said we met in 4th grade, man, and Jerry died in my arms in the hospital. And I talk about Jerry to keep his name alive, his stories alive. So his life didn't go in vain. My brother Porky, all these other people, my little brother Kevin, Prince, by saying their names, they will never go away, and their stories will never go away. Their names mean something. Their lives mean something, not just then, now too. And
the event is to celebrate recovery, also to take away the stigma.
Yeah, I mean,
and they have the Narcan. They teach you how to use a Narcan, and they have
there's just
and there's for kids. They also have stuff for kids, like a bounce house and the face painting, and so it's a whole different. It's a big event.
It's a big event where there's so much shared knowledge, stories,
and
good,
like Manny's
bad.
going to speak.
I get to be Skylar and Kayla.
He's going to come out of his shell and talk to people. Oh my goodness!
They said, "Do you think you could talk in front of people, or do you think you could do a live show?" I'm like, "I'll do my best."
Yeah,
I don't know.
He's so shy, coy, and demure.
Yeah, the nice guy that says "fuck" a lot.
But he's so polite. Really,
he's so polite.
Okay, yeah, he is.
But yeah, just like Coach, when we were talking about the event and all the things that are going to take place, actually, Coach he is a master when it comes to
organization,
speaking, and just getting his point out, and his feelings, and everything that goes along with the Brian Cody Brothers and Sisters Foundation, the families, the friends, the people, the volunteers, all of that.
And you wonder after time if the intensity would lessen. But even when he was talking to you last year, he was so intense and passionate with what he was talking about. It's near and dear to his heart. I mean, it's just incredible.
That's one thing, and that's with all of us. That's with every single one of us in this family. I don't care how many times you tell your story. And I can speak for myself. When I tell my story, there's times I can get through it, and no problem. There's other times I just lose it. The intensity, the anger, the sadness, the disappointment, everything, every emotion that you can imagine that you have when you're dealing with these very, very terrible stories, man, of addiction, and not only what it's done to the individual, but to the families and our loved ones. And so there's times, man, I remember when I first started doing this, I had this producer for a short time who was telling me, he goes, "Well, you have to act a certain way when you're telling the story."
I remember him telling me.
I was like, "You're done. Don't tell me I got to fucking act. I'm not going to act anyway. This is, this is all reality. There's no acting when you're dealing with recovery. There's no acting when you're dealing with death and overdose and people losing their lives. There's no acting to make it more the sensationalism more. No, man." And let's just say, obviously, even though I didn't know what I was doing, I knew enough to get rid of them very quickly.
That was short-lived.
Oh, man. But the intensity will never leave. That's one thing that I found out just telling my own story. And there's times where I'll be in New York or wherever doing a show, and if OG's in studio or she watches it at a later time, she'll say, "I've heard your story since she started doing this as the admin so many times, but every time there's something a little different, something." And that's just, a lot of that is me. And it's not like I plan it. There's times where you're telling the story and it's not a script, man. You're telling your life. And as you're telling these life stories, you're reliving certain things, and it hits you differently.
And you jog a different part of your memory, and you bring something else up that you hadn't said before.
And that's happened where all of a sudden, and I'll go a little further in that direction. Well, when I first started doing this, I didn't feel comfortable because I just didn't feel comfortable doing it. And now I feel extremely comfortable looking into that damn thing and talking into this. It just, it just feels very natural. being able to talk to you guys and your support and love for each other, and that we all get and give.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those things where
Beautiful.
it doesn't matter if it's the first time, the 50th time, or the 100th time. You're going to find out a little bit more about me and all of us. So that's kind of cool. And but back to the whole point of with coaching the intensity, like OG was saying, when it comes to these events, yeah, I mean, the whole point of it is a terrible reason because someone lost their life that were there. But let's turn it into something positive. And that's what's really flipping it. Like she said, too, man. I mean, look at Lori when we were in Athens, Alabama. Literally, it's a recovery event where we had a person OD right in the middle of the floor and die in front of us. And thank God by the quick thinking and Narcan was administered, CPR was administered, the person was brought back to life. And you talk about an experience. Some of the people that I got to meet, Phyllis, for example, Ethan, who I met for the first time, a young kid there, man, who was doing amazing in his recovery. I talked to him when he first got there, and after this person OD'd, Ethan walked up to me with his family, and he was all teared up. He goes, Manny, this really hit me. He said, the trigger, he said, never seeing, the first time he ever saw something like this. And I go, Ethan, I hope you remember exactly what you just saw, because that is what you look like when you OD. That's exactly what someone looks like when I go, you were blessed to see this firsthand. Plus, it was a positive outcome by bringing the recovery.
Yes. Thank you, Lord.
Yes, thank God. But it was a very personal experience for people because, like he said, that's what his parents would have seen.
Yes.
If that's what we would have done to our family. Phyllis, who was just on with us a while back, lost her son. And when she saw that, instantly thought of her son. And
Trey.
It was very hard for her. So, I mean, it's these events are really something. And that's one thing that you're going to see us doing a lot more of. We just have to work them out, how to fit it into the schedule, but they're extremely important. I mean, this all is what we're doing right here with all of us being part of this family. But the more to get out in the community and actually one-on-one, that's one thing that was really cool is I enjoyed is actually being there, talking with the people and actually, shaking hands, hugs, and just the love that was there was just incredible. Amber says, I carry Narcan every place I go for the fear of the day I have to use it.
But that's okay. You've got it there and you'll be able to use it.
Yep. But the Amber, thank you. And that's for all of us.
Well, one thing that changed for me after being at the event in June is that I used to keep it in my house. I went, why do I keep it in my house? I keep it in my car now to make sure I have it close by.
Yeah.
I don't carry a purse, so I don't have a purse to put it in, but I keep it in my car.
But that was just something too. When I got back from the event, I remember we were at work. Jim Leibel from Talking Trash.
Where is he? Oh, there he is.
My man, Jim. How you doing, Jim?
Jim, do you carry Narcan with you everywhere you go? If don't, do please.
But we were talking about what happened when I came back from the event in Alabama. People were asking how it went, and that's the last thing that anyone expected to hear. And it was funny the reaction that I got from some people. Some people were actually like almost not offended, but just almost like disgust looking at this person like, what type of person would go to an event? That's just disrespectful. That's what it was. They said, and I'm looking at this person. I'm like, what a great place for this to be happen. This person needed help. They're
obviously they're still having trouble,
at an event for recovery shows you the strength that addiction can have on somebody. And thank God that it happened there and not in some abandoned house, because they'd be dead. If that person would not have been where she was, probably wouldn't be here.
If she had done it in the bathroom and stayed in the bathroom,
she
probably would have been found dead in the bathroom. But she came back out. And
but yes,
okay. She's alive to tell the tale.
Amber, I got lots. If anyone needs some, I'll send it to you. And I had someone one time say with the Narcan, it reminded them of COVID, because you couldn't turn around with getting shot in the face or something like that with sanitizer. It was like you'd sit there, if you said hi to someone, they'd you got too close, man. They'd shoot you right in the mouth, the eyeballs. It's like shit. Or you didn't even have to shake their hand. You'd wave at them. Oh, I got waving hand, COVID juice on me. And next thing you know, there's sanitizer everywhere, which was great, man. Hey, do what you got to do. But so yeah, man. And all of a sudden now it's like, in the past it was like Narcan. Why would anyone want to carry Narcan except for being in a rig or a first responder? Because we're all first responders.
It's like, why does anybody need, but nurses and tech, EMTs need to know how to do CPR? Well, everybody needs to know how to do CPR, because you don't know, it could be your loved one that needs to have a little bit of chest compression to bring them back. Yeah.
And the thing is too, this is something with things change, man. Like
awareness is
Red Cross.
So
you go to these different functions, man, learn basic first aid. They just said a thing on our local news about first aid. Everything from putting a freaking Band-Aid on, which is like you put a Band-Aid on. Well, yeah, that's true. But, what do you do first? Your first thing you do is stop the bleeding. Second thing you do is you clean it, which I'm just talking what you're supposed to do. I'm not talking about what I've done, because, you're talking to guys, working on bikes and stuff who, where you're bleeding, you take, the paper towel and you go like this, then you grab the electrical tape and you go like that. And then you just, seriously, with the, like the CPR, I've been certified since I started EMT back in
the dark
90s back then. And they used to give out these mouth covers with a one-way valve, because back then it was compressions and ventilations. It was mouth to mouth. Well, they've gotten rid of that. So now it's just compressions only. And that's it. And actually what happened was, one of the people at the event went to do ventilations, and it was like, no,
don't do it.
And
you don't need to.
But if you don't know, you don't know. So, nowadays, yeah, man, Amber, there's no reason we all shouldn't have Narcan. It's available, it's free. Keep the Narcan, because looking around, to people that you might assume to be drug addicts, you can't look and say yes, no, you just don't know. And the person that you saved could be, a family member, a loved one, a friend, or
another human being.
Human being. You know what?
So it is family.
It's family. It's someone that
if you go back far enough, we're all related.
And that's just another thing too, man. Like I've said, you're one hello away from meeting your new best friend. You just haven't met him yet.
Manny keeps collecting best friends.
Oh man,
the TSA agents and the dogs at the airport.
God, that was funny with the TSA. That was so damn funny, because people, you hear horror stories with TSA. People will panic getting ready to go through TSA. Here I am telling stupid dad jokes, going through the line, and people are just looking at me. I was like,
yeah, you've heard those stupid dad jokes.
Oh my God. And this is going up to TSA, and they're like, sir, wait a minute. Have you heard the one? And they're just like, then I got followed by the drug sniffing dog.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So all of this stuff, but it's fun. And like I said, the last TSA with Officer Payne and his partner, when they grabbed me, and then the supervisor came over and
thinking
that
something was wrong,
taking him away, and they're like, no, man, they just wanted to take a picture and just talk. That was cool.
Yeah.
But
we'll be back there.
Yeah, so we're gonna be back there and have some fun.
6 weeks. Oof.
But Amber, thank you for chit chatting and being on here, and
she's the one. She's got 30 vials of Narcan. If anybody's needing our Narcan, that's our girl.
Thank you, Amber. And
but that's okay. You just keep it because just in case.
But whoever needs it, if you need to get a hold of Amber, hit her up on Messenger.
And don't think just one set of Narcan is enough. You wait a little bit and then give them a second, because it'll only take care of so much opioid, and then they might go back into their, somnolent. They're on the floor. So you give it to them.
And
twice.
That's just
it's okay.
Just remember, man,
they're not going to overdose on that.
You can't overdose someone on Narcan, but you can't kill them if you don't give them enough.
Correct.
So you know what? If someone does pass away from an overdose, there should not be any full Narcan left. Because I did have someone, say that before. It was like, well, we already hit them up. Hit them again with 2 Narcan. It was like, give him another one.
Yeah, really.
He
starts to go out again. You don't know how much opioid he's got in the system.
Yeah.
There you go. See, she's got after 2 minutes redo. Yes.
There you go, Amber.
Good girl. All right.
And that's just it. It's education. And it's not only education, but it's keeping up on it, because things change constantly, where it's like, okay, do this. Just like with CPR, man. It went from, ventilations to I can't remember. They changed how many breaths to how many this, and then it switched to fewer.
And now, if you need to renew your CPR, if it's expired, you can go online and do ICPRI, like small letter I, CPRI, and it'll take you to the exam, and you can take the exam. It costs you $20. Take the exam right there, and they will send you your certificate right there. You don't even have to go in person. So there you go.
Yeah. So
there's no reason why. If you've never taken CPR, you got to go to a hands-on CPR class. But if you've had it, then you can redo it online.
Yeah, and you definitely want to, you see these stories. There was one, can't remember what it was. I usually watch Channel 4 when I do watch the news. And there was a bunch of volunteers from Red Cross and a bunch of doctors, EMTs, all coming out teaching, CPR and basic first aid and all that. And it was so cool because it was free to the public. They didn't know what to expect. The line to get in before they opened was around the building and the whole day. It was just the coolest thing. And it was people learning how to save their loved ones, to save a stranger, to save whoever, to get out there and make a difference, man. Because
I think that was a Detroit Northwest Activity Center, and they had a great response. It was wonderful.
The place was packed, just packed. And, I've had people say something about they're scared about, being sued. There's the Good Samaritan law. You know what? There was, I had someone say one time about the compressions and what if you do this? What, what ifs you're going to crack a rib, sternum. Believe me, I've done it. The last time I had to do CPR on this poor lady, she was tiny. Well, she had no legs. She was in her upper 80s.
Literally no legs, amputated?
She was diabetic. She lost both legs, and she coded on us. We worked on her we got her to ER. I was working ER. We got her in, and we actually did active CPR for 45 minutes. It was, there was 3 of us. They were rotating on the chest. People are sweating. It is hard. You do CPR for minute, 2 minutes, you're done. You're done. That's how aggressive. And I remember my adrenaline was pumping, man. I jumped up out there and I started, and I think it was like the second or third compression, I just heard a pop. And the next compression, I felt the sternum under my hand shift as I was doing CPR, but you know what? The person has,
if they come back to life.
Yeah. They've got a fractured rib and they're sore, but they're alive. But,
take your choice. Pick your poison.
But anyways,
live.
So that's what's going on in the life at times of My Fight Our War.
We had a little health class today.
With not only that, but with our brother Thomas in Denmark, let's see, what time is it? 8, 9. It's about 2 a.m. in Denmark right now. Let's all
leave him alone.
We'll all call Thomas. Here, you want his phone number?
Let's all call him.
No.
Oh my gosh.
So Thomas and Sophia enjoying their first day and night as husband and wife. So proud, just happy for them, man. I know for the short time that I've known Thomas, I've got a very strong, bond with him and Sophia, and very quickly. And it was just so cool. I mean, her personality, I don't know if you guys saw the episode where, well, actually he couldn't see it because she was in the green room, but I'm sitting there. I did the intro for my brother's keeper and did the intro. I went to get ready to bring Thomas on, and also I glanced down where I can see who's on, and there sat Sophia.
A lot of blonde hair.
Yeah, blonde hair. I go, that's not Thomas. But anyway, so they are happily married. So our best to Thomas and Sophia in Denmark. And to Amber and everyone else in My Fight or War here who, thanks for sharing some time with us tonight.
All this good information tonight.
Just, we went everywhere from talking to Harleys, talking about weddings, talking about
and how polite you are,
how polite I am, all of these
scary
things.
You are.
Yeah,
were.
Yes. And upcoming events. So that's what it's all about. Just sharing, having some fun.
And now the Tigers are playing.
Tigers are on. Got to watch some of the Tigers. We are going to be back on our schedule for Mondays. With everything going on between here and Connecticut, and we were in Athens, Alabama, then just back and forth. There was then up with AJ Galante and Mount Pleasant. Just a lot going on. So we're going to get back on our schedule for Manny's such a sweet pea. Yes. Well, Amber, see that everyone needs to see through Amber's eyes. So,
That's
Amber,
right.
thank you so much.
You're looking through the eyes.
And Amber, seriously, man, thank you for everything. All of your
all the input. Very good.
And just all your support. That you are full of support and compassion and
you've
motivation.
been through enough on your own.
With all of
still
us.
Sharing.
Yeah, and I've said that many times, Amber, with all of us dealing with what we deal with day in and day out, no one would blame us if you or Jacqueline or Sheila or me or anyone else decided, you know what, I'm just going to focus on me alone. I'm not going to do shows. I'm not going to do posts. I'm not going to comment on social media. I'm just going to focus on me. No one would blame us for wanting to be the best us for us and our family. But what we do is what you do right here, sharing all this stuff, the information, the support, the love. It means the world for all of us just to hear. But for the people who are dealing with what people in addiction and recovery are dealing with, hearing and seeing your positivity and your love and support goes a long way. So, Amber, thank you. And to Heidi and Sheila and Lori and Vincent,
Mary Jane, Sherlyn from the
every
Philippines,
single person who's ever commented on My Fight or War or anything else on here. Thank you, because you don't know whose life you may have saved by just that one word, that one comment that someone may have picked up on by something that you just said could have saved someone's life. So, keep up the, everything that you guys do, man, because it really is making a difference in this world. And that's all I got to say about that, as Forrest would say. That's all I got to say about that. All right.
So let's go turn the Tigers on.
So,
and let's watch them win.
Before we sign off here.
Just send some love to the Tigers.
And some love to all you guys again.
Yeah.
Seriously, thank you, so much for being part of this madness. And things are going to be a little bit more consistent when it comes to myself and Thomas now, because for the last month or so, he's had a lot on his
He's been
mind with this
busy.
wedding, and so we've got a lot of things in the works that we really haven't done yet, just because we haven't had a chance to implement it because of all the other details that he's working with. So now that he's an old married man and his life's over,
Oh my God. Man, he's so romantic. Okay.
but we are going to sit there. You guys will see the difference and everything that's going on, not only with my brother's keeper, but also with My Fighter War and everything that we're going to be doing in Connecticut with Ian Bick and Matt Cronin, AJ Galante, and the rest of the crew. So until then, appreciate you guys. Love you guys. And keep fighting a good fight.